The Huawei S2000 inverter has 4 indicator lights on the front panel, but no display. For setup and maintenance, to read measure the value locally of all inverter in a solar PV system, a Huawei smart locker can be installed. In this video, we will show you how to connect and configure the smart locker and the S2000 inverter to work together with SolarVu Web Energy Portal for remote management of the system. After mounting the inverter, the Huawei smart locker, and make the electrical connection, the next step is connect the communication wire. A single twisted pair to carry the RS-45 signal to run from the smart locker to the first inverter. Now, if an outdoor grade Cat5 cable is used for this purpose, only the blue and blue-white wire, the twisted pair is used. That is the wire, and the rest of wire you don't need it. You can cut it, trim it off. You don't need it. Referring to the manual and the wiring diagram to make the connection. Okay, we are going to show you how to do the wiring, the terminal wiring between the locker and the inverter. On this example, the smart locker, we are going to using COM1. COM1, the two terminal will be the 5th and the 6th one from your right hand side. And we're using the blue white and the blue for the RS-45. Blue is plus, blue white is minus. So the plus is going to the 5th and minus is going to the 6th one. In the inverter side, we are going to connect to the 45 out from the locker. Terminal 6 and 8. Now, if you happen to have a second inverter, you need a daisy chain, then you need to using RS-45 in the terminal 5 and terminal 7. That's another method to connect the communication cable between the inverter to the locker and from inverter to different inverter. Now, here's the inside of the inverter. On the right hand side here is a 480 volt for the AC. This part we just talked about is for the serial communication. The alternative method to connect the inverter communication, we can using a patch Cat5 cable. Now, this patch Cat5 cable, after you make it yourself, make sure you're using a LAN cable tester to testing it. If you connect from the locker to the inverter, you need to connect to the out. From the inverter to the second inverter, you need to using the in. This is a LAN cable tester. You need to have one when you're testing out those patch Cat5 cable. So I'm going to show you how to set up the slave address on the inverter. In order to do that, you need to using a cell phone app. Now the app, you can get it, doesn't matter using iPhone or Android. You basically go to the App Store and then you search a keyword called S2000. There's only one app called S2000. So your App Store, you can download that, you install it into your cell phone. Now I got a phone is already installed. Now that's the first thing you need to get. The second thing you need to have is a USB cable connect to the inverter. Once you connect it, you just launch the app. Here's the app. Now the connection mode you need to select as a USB cable. The user type, you need to be advanced user and enter the password. Now be careful, the password right here is different as the password in the inverter. The password right here is 50 with small a. So it's 0000008, small letter 8, and then you hit login. Now, after login, that's you will see. Now, normally using this app, if you don't have the locker, you want to see what happened on the inverter, then you can check the inverter status, which we're not going to go through in this video. So we'll show you how to set up the ID. So you go to setting, you go to COM, RS-45, and then you'll see the current setting on the inverter. Let's say if you want to set this inverter as number 2, then you select the address as 2 and hit OK. Then that's it. Now I could set it back to 1 because this is 1. So just do one more time. 1, OK. So when you're done, so just go back, and go back. Then you're pretty much done. So you need to repeat that step for every single inverter. It will take some time, but it's pretty easy. That's it. After you power on the inverter, when you first time power up the smart locker, you need to go for an initialization visit. So that's the screen after you power up you will see. So you just go to the enter, select your language. You can select those time zone. You can enter those time or as a current time. Next thing, they will ask you for setup for the network. Now for this example, we are trying to put it into, I'll just make that up, let's say 10. That's the IP address we're going to use. You set up everything you need according to your router and to your network. That is important because later on I show you why, and if you're really missing that step, I show you how to correct that later. So you submit. Now next thing, it asks you to searching the address of the inverter. Now, since we're using COM1 at this example, that's R451, so we can ask him to search address. Now, if you know you only have a less than 100 device, then you can make it smaller. Then you don't have to sitting right here to wait forever to search. So let's say 80. We keep the rest as default because there's nothing right there. You try to search, device already exists as 0, searching device now, and you say enter. And it will take certain, now we find one inverter already, but it will take probably up to 5 minutes to search entire channel, and you gotta wait. And after you found all the device, then your device basically, I mean the smart locker basically is ready to go. Now I'm going to show you how to change the network setup in the locker. So when you're at this screen, you hit the enter key. Using the up down arrow going to the setting. Now you need to be an advanced user. You hit enter. Now he asks you for the password. The default password is 50 and the last one is 1. So 0 0 0 0 0 and 1. Hit enter. Now you get into the settings screen. So you need to go to the COM setting and you go down to the Ethernet and assume that static IP, so you can disable auto opting IP, which is DHCP, so disable that. And then you change the IP address you want, and in this case we want to change it 192.168.1. Let's say 30. So you just keep holding that button to 30 and change your subnet mask. You just keep using the enter key, going to the next one, changing the gateway, changing the DNS. On this case we just make it as 192.168.1.1. DNS2, what you can do is put it a public DNS like the Google DNS 8 and submit, and that's it. So we are going to show you how to set up Modbus TCP enable on the locker. So you need to go to the setup menu, go to setting. You need to be advanced user again. Again, the password is 50 and 61 is 1. So 00001. We go into the COM setting again, and then we go into Modbus TCP. First, you need to enable it. So in order to enable it, you need to be going to link setting. You need to be enabled. Now this one is tricky. It's called address mode, physical address. If you only all the inverter have a unique address and all connect to the same port, then you leave it a physical address. If you have duplicate address on different port, then you need to select logical address. But in this example, we're not going to show you that. We only show you the physical address. Now the next thing is tricky. Depends on your data logger. Let's say in this case in SolarVu data logger, you need to specify your IP address. Our data logger on this one, let's say is 192. Make it shorter. Let's say it's 10.5.10.4. Let's say that is the IP address of your gateway. You need to specify right here. If you're not, then your gateway cannot request any Modbus data from the Huawei logger. When you're done, you just hit escape to exit and back to this screen, and you're done. In a situation that you have a new inverter in the channel, or you want to add some more inverter to the logger, so you need to tell the logger to search a new inverter. So this is how you're going to do it. So you need to go into the setup again, but this time you need to go to maintenance. And you also need to be an advanced user. Password also the same is 00000, and the last one is 1. And then you need to go into device management, and then you need to hit the auto search again, and you hit enter. Then it will try to search all the inverter in the network again for you. And when it's done, it probably takes 5 minutes. When it's done, then it will back to tell you how many inverter is searched, and then you just hit OK, and then it will back to the screen. If local display is not required, it is not necessary to purchase the smart logger. Now in this case, the SolarVu gateway 485 serial connection will be made directly to the first inverter. From this inverter, the transistor paired wire a daisy chain to the other inverter if more than one. Now consult the wiring diagram shown in the SolarVu Huawei installation guide for further detail. It is still necessary to enter the Modbus slave ID into each inverter using the Huawei phone app. After you have everything connected, you're ready to see the value. Just go online using your browser, go online, go to your SolarVu portal. For example, my solar generation site.solarvu.net. Once you go to SolarVu portal, go to the analyzer, inverter status. You should see the inverter value of the Huawei inverter value on the screen. In the screen, I will show you all the MPPT value, the DC value, and what is the status of the inverter and how much energy pumping to the grid. There's an update button, so you can click on that update button to see any live data anytime you want.